everyone. In today's video, we're going to go over how to complete this introduction to Photoshop. So you should have this assignment posted on Google Classroom. You can go ahead and take a look at all of the steps that are there, but this video is going to walk you through all of the steps that you need to do in order to get started. So the first thing that we're doing, we're ultimately trying to get you all to practice using these tools in Photoshop and just start getting comfortable with them so that you feel good using them on some of our later projects. For today, we're going to start by just looking up a portrait of a character or cartoon so that you can import that into Photoshop and then practice using the tools. So the first thing we're going to do is just go into Google and you can look up any of your favorite cartoon characters. We want you specifically to pick one that has eyes or that has eyes that are visible in some way. So you can just go to Google, you can type in the search bar and that's fine. I'm going to look up one of my favorite characters from the cartoon Recess, which is Gretchen. I'm going to look at images. And if you want to, if you're having a hard time finding a portrait, what you can do is just add in the word portrait to your search. And this makes sure that you're looking for an image that is kind of like chest up so that you're just really focusing in on their face. Now, the next thing that you want to do is when you're in the images, you want to go to the tools right over here. Click into tools, go to where you see size, and we want to select large. You want to make sure that you will have a really good sized image when you're bringing it into Photoshop. Some of these images are a little creepy, but I'm going to go ahead and pick this image here. This is a really good time to pause the video and just go find the portrait and the cartoon that you want to use. Once you've found the image that you're going to use, you are going to take 2 fingers on a Mac and tap the trackpad. This is going to right-click the image. So here I am on my image. I'm going to right-click it, and I'm going to hit Copy Image. So that's all that I'm doing so far. I'm going to go ahead and mark here in my steps that step 1 is to find a portrait image of your favorite cartoon character online. And then I'm going to just put a note here that you're going to right click and copy image. And I might also say here that you're going to tools and then you're going to make it a select large for size. Okay, so you have all of the steps there. Right now you should have your image copied. So again, to remind you of that step, I'm going to right click, I'm going to hit copy image. And the next thing you're going to do is open up Photoshop. You should all see Photoshop at the bottom dock bar, and you'll notice it has a PS and it stands for Photoshop. Let's go ahead and open that up. This is the place where your screen might look a little different than mine, and that is totally okay. If your screen looks like this, you want to make sure that you're going to New File. If it already opened something up for you, you can do the same thing of just go to File, go to New. And you're going to notice here that it says Clipboard. That is what I want to click because when I select Clipboard instead of creating my own canvas, it means that it's already thinking about the image that I copied and it's going to make a canvas that is exactly that size. So let's go ahead and hit Clipboard and you can hit Create. And now you're going to have this image and you'll notice my image isn't there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Command V and I'm going to paste my image in. So those are my steps. So now I have it. I'm going to include that over here. That step 2 is to open Photoshop. I'm going to go to Clipboard and then Command V or paste the copied image. Okay. So that's where I'm at right now. I just want to show you all that I've got that. If you need to pause the video, take a moment to do that and make sure that you end up with your image in here. Now, some of the things to notice about how our Photoshop is set up, you're going to notice that over here on the left-hand side of my screen, I have my toolbar. I know it's my toolbar because it has all of the little images that tell me like, just with like little icons that tell me what I can use them for and what I can do. Over here on the right-hand side, we have a whole bunch of window panels. And now these window panels, you'll notice, have things like colors, swatches, properties, adjustments, libraries. The main thing that you all want to focus on for this project is this panel here that says layers. And you know what? I don't really like that my layers are all the way at the bottom because they're the most important thing for me right now. So if you want to move any of your toolbars, your window panels around, you can click them and drag them out. So notice like I'm dragging mine, and as I move it to different places, I see this blue line light up. Wherever that blue line lights up just indicates to me that I'm gonna be moving it over into that space. So now, yes, I have all of these other things. I'm actually gonna see if I can, what I can minimize, just because I really wanna just focus here on my layers panel. So take a moment, make sure that your layers panel is very visible. And as a reminder, right now you have a background layer and you have layer 1, which is where you brought your character into. I'm going to take a moment and just label that layer. In order to label a layer, you're going to hover your mouse directly over the text for layer 1, double tap, and then you're going to notice it highlights layer 1. And I'm going to just write in here like character layer for now. You can name it by your character, totally fine, whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay, so now we are into the meat of our project, which is to practice using these tools to cut out and select parts of our image. And we're going to just focus on doing that with one of our character's eyes. So if you take a look over here, when you hover over any of the icons on your toolbar, you're going to actually see that it shows you what the description is, and you get a little like image, a little video of what's actually happening. So if I hover over this first one, I notice this is the move tool. We are not going to use the move tool right now, but we are going to use, starting with this second one, this is a selection tool. And this is called the rectangular marquee tool. So you'll notice that it allows me, if I click on it, and if I click and hold, you're going to notice that there's other tools as well. There's a rectangular marquee tool, there's an elliptical marquee tool, a single row, and a single column. For this project, we're just going to use the rectangular marquee tool and the elliptical marquee tool, and then you all will use some other selections after that. So right now I want to make sure that I'm on the rectangular marquee tool. You'll notice that I now have like this little plus sign, and that's what my mouse is. So I'm going to bring that over here to one eye. I'm going to focus on Gretchen's right eye. Pick whichever eye you want. I'm going to go ahead and select that eye just like that. So I can see that this like dashed line is, it's kind of just moving, and it's just telling me that I have this selection. I'm going to now use my shortcut to copy. So I'm going to hit Command C. So now I have that block copied. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Command V. While I'm hitting that, let's keep an eye out over here on my layers section. So I hit Command V, and now it's a little hard to see because I have my character layer toggled on. But if I untoggle that, you'll notice that when I hit Command V, I automatically copied Gretchen's eye onto a brand new layer. So I didn't have to make a layer. As soon as you hit Command V, it automatically pastes onto a new layer. So I'm going to just, as a reminder, put here in our steps that step 3 was to use the selection tool. And in this example, we use the rectangular marquee tool. But I'm saying selection tool because you all will use different tools for the project. So use the selection tool to, select the eye, to select one eye of your character. And then we can say, I'm going to put here Command C, which is to copy, and then Command V, paste. And I'm not going to mark in here that it's a new layer because it's automatically doing that step for you. One thing I want to make sure that you all recognize is in order for me to do the copying, I need to make sure that I'm clicked in to the character layer. If I'm not clicked into that layer, then I won't be copying from the main image. I'm going to be copying from whatever layer I'm on. So let's go ahead and try this now with the second tool. If you didn't do that first step with me, make sure you're pausing the video here and going and doing that on your own. Now I want to use the elliptical marquee tool. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to actually hold down, like tap and hold on rectangular marquee, and now change it to an elliptical marquee. So same thing here. I'm going to come over to Gretchen's eye. I'm going to kind of select over top of it like that. You'll see my circle. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to hit Command C. I've copied. I'm going to hit Command V. And now I'm pasting. And again, if I untoggle my character layer, right now I see layer 1. If I untoggle that, I can see Gretchen's eye over here in layer 2. Okay, in order to keep these separate, I'm actually going to name my layers. So I'm going to make a little note here that we want to name each layer by the tool that you used. So here, layer 2 was our elliptical marquee. You can, if you want to change these up, that's fine. And layer 1 was my rectangular marquee. Our main goal is just we want you to see, and I might kind of move this one around. So maybe I will grab my move tool. I'm just going to bring that one, the rectangular marquee up there. I'm going to bring my elliptical marquee below it just so that I can see these. For now, if I pull up my character layer, you'll notice that I see all of the other images just because they're above my character layer. If you want to, you can drag your character layer on top of everything else, just so it's a little easier for you to see those. You can untoggle those for the time being. And now you will independently keep going with the other selection tools. So you all will also try out here the lasso tool. When you select it, there's a polygonal lasso tool, a magnetic lasso tool. You're going to try out both of those. And then we have a few more tools for you all to use that are listed on the instructions on Google Classroom. Okay, so you have a quick selection tool and a magic wand as well. So here, I know we just named our layers, and I'm just going to put here step 5 is repeat the process for each selection tool listed. Okay, so again, I have all my layers. You can toggle them on, off, whatever is helpful for you. But by the end of this project, you should be able to have your character and all of these eyes just using different tools. So you're starting to get an idea of what tools are better for what types of selections. Okay, good luck.